Unlocking marital bliss.
It's a pleasure to be here. You're so much welcome to Unlocking Marital Bliss with me, Cyrus Rod. It's always a pleasure to be here and to have you tuned in every Sunday, 3 p.m. I am so glad that we can do this from this prestigious Fairway Hotel in Kampala, Uganda. What a day, what an honor for me to be here once again and talk about love and talk to you out there so you may be able to understand exactly what love is and how to succeed when it comes to love. And tonight I have my usual guest, one of my usual suspects, and we want to deal with a subject very, very, very close to many people's hearts. And you've been calling in and you've been talking about this and you've been saying we've had the feedback and we want to respond to you, trying to understand love. And you're saying these days there's nothing called love. All we're doing is transaction. So it's business and not love. And my question is this business or love? And that's what we want to talk about. When it comes to business, it's transactional, okay? And when it comes to love, what does it mean? Brian, this is why I want to have you here today so we can discuss this. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot. You're
Yeah,
ready?
yes, I am.
Okay, so without further ado, I want us to roll when it comes to business, when it comes to love. Most people today, it appears based on the feedback, they need to understand the difference between business, transaction, and love. I mean, you can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. You can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving. Okay, and this is where the whole key is. Many people feel like, yeah, I'm giving. Yeah, you can give without love, but then you can't love without giving. That's the reality. Many of you are giving, but it's transactional. There is no love. There is no love. And we want to define that. How would you look at transactional? How does this whole thing that people asking us to talk about appear? How does it rise up?
Before we lose the line of thought, Pastor Cyrus, the giving or the business end of it and the love end of it.
Yes.
There is a very thin line today in understanding that definition. Because to us, love is transaction. What do I mean? If I give you, I'm loving you. I cannot, go sweat, spend all my time earning a certain living, and then you come to me and I don't give you something to define my love for you. So we have doubled it down to equate transaction and love as the same thing. That's where the confusion has been. Okay. That if I love you unconditionally, I am transacting actually. I am not loving you, I am transacting. Because every one of us today, because I'm in the red seat, every one of us today needs to get something out of this love relationship. My peers are asking me, you are with that man for 5 years. Has he bought you a car? Has he bought you an iPhone? Has he bought you this? Does he do your nails? Does he show you that he loves you? You see the language. So when you say, I cannot love and not give, the person watching today is confused.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, so because I'm giving, I'm loving. You see where the line of thought is?
I get you.
And so that's where the challenge has been. My question would be, before we really, really delve into this thing, is there a difference between love and business? Is there a difference between unconditional love? What is unconditional love to me? Is it that the other party will not expect because I have unconditional love for them? I shouldn't expect anything in return, because that's where most men are. I am giving my best. So, please play your part. What are you putting on the table? Play your part.
Now, you men, when you come up and you say, what are you putting on the table? What are you putting on the table? I think we really have a problem. Is this business or love?
Is it business or love?
Look at this. When it comes to, when I mentioned that you can give without loving, but you cannot love without giving.
Sure.
Okay? Giving is a byproduct of love. Okay? But somebody can be able to give not because they love. So if your love is not at the root of your giving, okay, you're just being selfish. This is what I mean. If love is not at the root of your giving, that means whatever I am letting go is targeting something I want in return. Transaction comes in. Okay? It is targeting something I want in return. Okay? Not because of any other thing, but I want something in return. And that is transactional. You may call it unconditional love. It ain't unconditional love at all. It's conditional love. It's selfishness at its peak.
Let me ask
selfishness.
Pastor, sorry, let me ask you right there as you're still there. You're explaining a business partnership, which I understand so very well.
Yes.
But let's go back to the cause of this business transaction.
Let me tell you.
If, for instance, I want this business to work, I must love it.
Oh.
I must love this business to put in my 50%. And the other party puts in their 50% so that we have this thing registered and it runs really fine.
No, actually, you are not loving the business. Okay. No, you're not loving. I know people have used that word, used it so loosely, and they throw it around. Love your business. Love your work. No, that is not actually love in the business. What you got to do is to love, is to express the service.
Okay, explain that.
That comes out of love. So I am not serving just focusing on money, but because I love God, number one, you get it? I love God, and this is why I'm bringing this out. I do not focus on money. I first focus on God, and the money will begin coming in when I'm doing business. Okay? I focus on God, and money begins coming in. But if I focus on money, I will put God aside. There will be no love. It will be selfishness all the way. And it will be about, and I'll say, well, this is business. A lot of people in business are just self-centered, 100%.
Okay.
When the guilt overwhelms them, they come up with something called corporate responsibility.
Okay.
But it's not love, okay? They feel guilty and they say, let's do what we call corporate responsibility. Now, in the same way, most men will have a woman and they do whatever and then they come up with corporate responsibility. Yeah. But still they want something in return. Have you ever had any company that does corporate responsibility and they never put up their banners? It just can't happen. It just can't happen. There is no love. Now, let me show you something. What really causes us to get to a point whereby we go transactional? We cannot ignore, you see, Unlocking Marital Bliss is all about the biblical perspective, okay? The biblical foundation. If you ignore that, you will not succeed in marriage. So what causes us to go after the things?
What can I get?
What's in it for me?
What is it in for me? Yes.
Number one, and this is the core, Adam, our forefather.
Yes.
Adam in the Bible. Adam sins, okay? God told him, the day you sin, you will surely die. Okay? What does die mean? Separation.
You get me? Yes.
So he was telling them, you'll be separated from me. Yeah. So the day that Adam sinned is the day he died. Physically, he appeared like normal. Everything is okay. But inside, as Adam, he had been separated from God. He had been separated from God. And now he was in want. He was naked. He was ashamed. All these are byproducts that you are missing something. And what was he missing? He wasn't missing things because the garden stayed. The gold in the garden stayed. The leaves were there. Everything was there. But he felt empty. He felt naked. He felt separated. He felt broken. Okay? When he felt naked, felt empty, felt broken, the next thing he did was to try to make himself whole again. What did he do? He reached out to what had been created, things.
Not God.
Not God. He reached out to things. And I want our viewers to understand this. When he was naked and ashamed, they need to understand. Nakedness or being ashamed literally means being found out that you are not what
You
you
said you are.
say you are.
Yeah. No wonder there's a scripture, you've reminded me, Romans chapter 8, which says, what can separate us from the love of God? Not even nakedness.
Not even nakedness.
He's trying, yes, he's trying to
Not
cover
even
us again. Yes.
You see, even when we want, when we lack, you get it? Now, Adam discovered that he lacked.
Yes.
You get it? He lacked. He was naked. He wanted. He was in want.
Yes.
He was empty. He was broken. Okay? Now, being empty and broken, and he was all these things, he was in want. Why? He had been separated from life. He had been separated from God. He was no longer whole the way God made him. Okay? He was full of fear, what people today call insecurities. He was full of guilt, all that they call insecurities. And they tell you need to go through whatever. But this is what happened to Adam. Having gone through all that, now he's broken, he's empty, he's naked. Okay? What does he do? The first thing, with shame, I'm going to be found out for who I am not. God is going to come here and he's going to find me. What he doesn't know, that God has always been with him and God is all-knowing and God already knows.
Yes.
You get me?
Yes.
That actually they've been separated. Already he knows. But what does Adam do? Oh, I'm going to fix this. So he runs and gets leaves and covers himself. He turns to things and covers himself and his wife. They all come up with what I call projecting an image, coming up with a masking, okay? I cover with the brokenness. I cover the emptiness. I cover this so I may be whole again. Now, when he covered himself, it looked perfect until
I will not allow you to see my vulnerability.
I will not allow you to see how vulnerable I am. You get it? So I'm covering myself, because if I open up to vulnerability, I will be destroyed. That's what I think. You'll see me, and when you see me, you will reject me because you don't want something broken. You don't want something naked. You don't want something that doesn't bring anything to the table.
Pause right there. Pause right there. Because that's where the challenge has been.
That is where we are.
Because you've brought it out so well to drive to the point of transaction.
Thank you.
I cannot allow myself to get involved with this woman in my actual image. In the real me cannot come out.
No. We're right over there. Yes. The real you.
Yes.
Now, the real you cannot come out. So, look, why? Let me just clear this. It's just so sweet. Adam is now empty, broken, and all of this, but he covers it. He doesn't want to be vulnerable, okay? So the first thing he's doing right now is to literally, his number one enemy is reality.
Yes.
I want you to think about this. His number one enemy is reality, okay? Because reality means he's broken, he's empty, he's naked, he's wanting, he's not who he claims to be. He's not who he claims to be. And how does he fight this claim? By projecting an image. But now he does all of this. When Adam does all of that and he's faced with all this, the first thing is that he's running away from reality. That he is a sinner. He's broken. He can't help himself. He needs a savior. Okay? He doesn't even know what love is now.
So no wonder, when you bring it out so well like that, you make me lose words here. Because I'm in the red chair, remember?
Yes, sir.
So if I'm broken, I'm insecure.
Yeah.
I gotta find myself somebody that can compliment me. That, you know, I give something, I get something. I'm banking. I am investing and getting something, because We need to sit together and I tell you my insecurities and you tell me your insecurities. Then we have expectations for each other. So it's like a business transaction. You see, Pastor Cyrus, I like your presentation, but understand the best person in relationship always wins in transaction. The best mind in business wins. This is what's happening today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
If the other person cannot open up, neither will I. If I can't open up, neither will she.
Brand.
If I open up, there's a fear she's going to.
There's so much you're bringing out.
Yes.
This looks like every sentence you bring, I want to respond. Every sentence you bring, I want to respond. Take a look at this. You say, so here I am naked, I'm broken. I don't want you to see me.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want you to see me. So let me tell you the best, this is reality about relationship.
Yes.
Okay? Because all this, you're broken and all this, that's the reality.
Yes.
What are you running from? The reality.
Yes.
And who's more real than God?
Nobody.
So running, not acknowledging that I'm broken, I'm a sinner,
Yes.
I need God, who is the reality.
See what you I see
Who is the reality is to go out with a mask.
Yeah, because
Is to go out with a mask because you're full of fear. You don't want to face reality. This is what I wanted to bring out. Adam is clothed with leaves. Clearly.
yes.
The Bible says
did
they
that.
use fig leaves.
Yes.
You know, they knit one upon the other. You know how we do our masks?
Yes.
I'm going to be a doctor. You're knitting. Thinking when I become a doctor, then I have identity, then I am whole, but the brokenness is still inside. Because after Adam dressed up well, he thought he had covered himself so good until God spoke. When God spoke, the nakedness became real again. He thought the nakedness was on the outside. He didn't know the nakedness started from the inside.
Let's first clear this. The dressing up is not the problem. Because God killed an animal and dressed them. But the nakedness is inside. So the transaction starts from within.
From within.
I'm trying to understand what you're saying.
No.
I mean, if I met this beautiful girl,
Yeah.
she's gone through trauma. She's gone through loss. She's had 4 or 5 men. You remember that woman in John chapter 4? She's had 5 husbands. They have all just wasted her. Now here I am. She's now wiser, they say.
Okay.
Now I'm smarter. I don't want any man to just come and he sweep me off my feet without buying me a car, building me a house, changing my wardrobe. So here what you're saying is that we needed to first deal with the inside of this woman.
First deal with the inside. The brokenness.
Not the things that we need to cover.
You see, when the brokenness is dealt with, this is the result. Wholeness.
The real me comes out.
The real you comes out.
Okay.
And you see, because now I'm broken, I fear reality. And in fearing reality, I lose the sense of belonging. Brian, let's go slow over this.
Yes. But who is going to accept me when I be real to the person?
Yeah, who will accept me? Now, thank you. Now, nobody's going to accept you when you're real. You get me?
Yes.
That is fear. So now you're looking for a sense of belonging.
I need to cover myself.
Yes, you need to cover yourself. Well, you see, what Adam experienced was a separation.
Yes.
He lost belonging.
Yes.
You get it? And then shame came because he doesn't have belonging. Do you know what it means when you don't belong anywhere? Shame, nakedness, you lack everything.
Insecurity.
Comes in.
Yes.
Okay? Now, when Adam lost, he was separated from God.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what happens. He no longer belongs. And then he's naked. So the first thing that he needed was to first get belonging restored. The greatest need of every human being is a sense of belonging. So belonging restored. Once belonging is restored, he is ready to face anything. He will fear nothing because he's got a sense of belonging. He can find anything. There are no insecurities. He's not ashamed. He doesn't fear rejection. So this is what happens. Every human being born of a woman is born with fear of being rejected, and there's no belonging, You get me? That's why children always want to, mommy, daddy, this is me. Then you give them a name. It tries to create some form of belonging, but that one is not the answer. You may even be Brian Trump.
Okay.
It doesn't
I like the sound of that.
It doesn't heal. It doesn't heal the problem. Okay? It doesn't heal the problem at all.
Because it's within.
It's within. It's just like the moment reality shows up, you see how naked you've been all this time.
Pastor Cyrus.
How do you help a man? Because you always tell me a man is the initiator here on earth. How do you help a man who doesn't even believe that they're broken? Because there are men out there who are watching right now and they totally know they've covered themselves. He's done law diploma. He's a medical doctor. He's a business guru. He's a business coach.
Come on.
He's an all-round person. He's achieved.
What is all around, Brian?
He's balanced according to the world. So he feels like he has added on a course, relational guru. He understands how a woman thinks, how a man thinks. He's been invested in,
But he doesn't even know how he thinks.
He doesn't even believe he's broken.
Now,
How would you help such a man?
you see, first and foremost,
Yes.
how would you help such a man?
Because he's feeling everything I need to give, I need to get back. I've invested so much.
I'm going to be back to answer that question. So don't you move. I'm going to be back to answer that question real quick. See you in a minute.
Unlocking Marital Bliss. Unlocking Marital Bliss.
We'll be back. You're still watching Unlocking Marital Bliss with me, Cyrus Rod, and I'm glad that everything is flowing very, very well. By the time we took a break, we heard this beautiful one. I'm here with Brian, and he asked the question, I'm a man. I'm an all-rounder. I'm learned.
Yeah.
I got it all figured out.
Yes.
I'm a relationship guru.
Yes.
I got a doctorate. I got a bachelor's. I got it.
I have annual planners.
I got annual planners.
Yeah.
I got all this. How do you tell me I'm broken?
How do you tell me I'm broken?
Well, you see, you are broken because when Adam, if you don't know Adam, you don't know nothing. Because I'm telling you reality. Most of what you've learned is not reality. No, it's just a cover up. But when I'm speaking, I take you to reality, the very thing you fear, the very thing you don't want to do, being vulnerable. Being vulnerable. You even, as a relationship guru, you'll go tell people, oh, you got to be careful because they'll use it against you.
Exactly.
That kind of fear. In perfect love, there is no fear. There is no fear. So what I want this man to understand who's out there, he believes he's got it all made up. Let me tell you, taken care of. Well, it appears so. That's how Adam felt. I got it all figured out until God spoke. Reality dawned. When reality dawned, he felt like, whoa, I'm naked. He ran away.
Yeah.
Just when you think you got it all figured out, then God's truth comes out, and then you see your own nakedness. Okay? So God's truth is absolute. You don't compare it. So when he says you're a sinner, it doesn't matter how much you've achieved. You may be a general, a president, a CEO, whatever. You're a sinner.
Let me paint a picture for
You're
you.
broken.
Pastor Cyrus, let me paint a picture. And I'm going to use Genesis 38. There is a woman there called Tamar. Tamar
Brian, before you paint that picture, I want you to hold that picture with
Yes, yes.
Let me show you something
Okay.
before you paint that picture,
Yes.
so you may paint it well. Adam, broken
Yes.
until God shows up, and then God dresses him up. You get it? This is what it means in our generation, that all human beings are born sinners. They are broken. They are insecure. It doesn't matter, by the way, who raised you. You're broken. So we stop blaming everybody.
Yeah.
What you need is God. The reason you have what you call trauma is because you don't know how to handle love.
Yeah.
Oh, let me say it again, because our viewers may go, oh, no, trauma is only sustained because we don't know how to handle love.
Yeah.
We don't know what love is.
You don't know how to receive. Yeah.
We don't know how to receive it.
Yeah.
Okay? So now, the good you are at receiving, then you're so good at handling rejection.
That's right. That's right. I agree on that line.
You get me?
I really do.
You're so good at handling rejection. So now, what are you going to receive? You need to be made whole. Before you even marry, you need to be single. Single doesn't mean unmarried.
Yes.
Single means whole, nothing broken.
Yes.
You're whole. You get me? So if your maker says you're a sinner, you're broken, you're naked, you have a lot of issues, what do? If your maker says so, you turn to your maker.
Yeah.
Say, how do we fix this?
Yeah.
Your maker already has a plan. He says, you come to me. I already have a way of fixing this, where you receive love.
Yes.
The first thing you receive now is unconditional love.
That's right.
Okay? Why unconditional love? That's the only way to fight rejection
Yeah. It's here.
and the fear of rejection. You get healed because now you're accepted, not because you brought something at the table, but because of who you are.
Pause right there. That makes sense. Because for Jesus, there is really nothing I can give him
Nothing.
apart from my service.
Yet he simply, and even it's him who worketh in you, both to will and to do of his own pleasure.
Yes, yes.
So what he does, he loves you unconditionally. Then you receive this unconditional love. When you receive it, this is what I tell people. That relationship is about the cross.
Yeah.
Vertical connection and then horizontal.
Yeah.
Vertical, horizontal. So if you've not connected vertically, you're going to fail at the horizontal level. You're going to turn to material things where you will believe these things will make me whole. Things won't make you whole. He has bought me a car. It won't make you whole. He has bought me a Benz. It won't make you whole. He bought me a house. It won't make you whole. Though you are running away from love, trying to use things to build a transaction. But the reality is this. The moment you get born again, you turn to God. Now, I'm not talking about saying I'm born again and you go to church. No, I'm talking about turning to God and understanding love. Because many people say, yeah, I go to church. They don't understand love. And if you don't understand love, you don't understand God. You may be a preacher. You may be a bishop or whatever. You don't understand love. This is what I bring out. When love is understood, unconditional love, you don't fear rejection. When you reach out to a girl, you're not reaching out to have sex. No, you're reaching out to a girl to simply say, I want to save you. You get me? Yes. The rest will follow. But that is what love is. So you're bringing the love you've received from God and you're giving it over to this girl. And then it's not a transaction. She may have a lot. She's never known what love is, but that's how you were before you met God. Now you teach her.
I love what I'm hearing. And it makes so much sense because you've actually handled two ideas right there. You've handled the idea of unconditional love, which is actually not an idea, it's the truth.
Yes.
And you've handled the idea of transaction, where the build-up comes from, the history, the line of thought.
Thank you.
But and no offense to it, that's the truth.
Yes.
I want to bring submissions to you, to where we are right now.
Yes.
Because now I've understood that we do not want to connect vertically first.
Thank you.
I may not put a demand, a specific earthly demand to it. Just like the children of Israel said, we want a king we see. Someone we can call to book and say, hey, I gave you a car. What are you bringing in return? So we avoid the vertical connection, first of all, because we are insecure. You brought it out so well. We are broken and we are fearful.
We're full of fear.
We are full of fear because sometimes we think it is our own doing that we are broken. Remember, you said we're born broken.
We're born broken before you do anything.
So we take it upon ourselves that I'm the one who made this mess.
And they even tell you maybe your mother never loved you, your father. It doesn't matter whether your mother loved you or your daddy loved you or whatever. Yes. All you need is God.
Now we avoid that. So what the best thing we do is I need to find some broken person so that I bring this half. That's why I say my better half. I bring this half and the other half and we can become whole. That's why I wanted to bring this line of thought. Tamar, she's promised to a son of Judah. And, Judah does not come through.
Yeah.
She's struggled through with these brothers.
Yeah.
So she feels, I need to get something in return. I need something. I need tangible stuff. I've suffered. Like how the world is right now. So many people who are watching today, their relationships have struggled. A boy probably grew up so well. He had love in there, self-esteem is up there, he's educated, he's found this girl, and even the reverse is true. The girl probably is well preserved, she's kept herself, she's finished her senior 4, she finds this guy. This guy, the only thought he has is what can I get from this girl and just quit. So he uses her, leaves her, she gets another guy, uses her, leaves her, and then she says, now I'm smarter.
Yeah.
I need to work out something to transact these relationships because I'm realizing I'm losing a piece of me every time I relate with someone.
Yeah.
Take it, for example, family life. Your father has paid fees for this young girl. She's gone to school. Pastor Cyrus, you have a daughter. You've labored to pay fees. You have ensured that she makes the right career path. You have watched her through. You've spent nights awake just helping her finish her work. She's graduated. You've watched there. You sit in that big chair and they're graduating and people are speaking about her. And she brings this young man and the young man wants to, come with a few things here and there, and take your daughter. So many parents have even enforced transaction on their children. So I understand what you're saying. But imagine my red chair. Yeah. There are so many people who are watching and feeling, Pastor Cyrus, surely I'm a parent.
Yeah.
My daughter has struggled. She was sick. I carried her to hospital. I did everything possible to make her as beautiful as you've seen her right now. For you, you're seeing a finished product.
Yes.
It's like going to the zoo.
Yes.
You see a lion, you even take selfies. Now, you want to just take her for free?
You see, Brian.
So, how am I just going to say, you know what, because I love you two people, thank you for bringing my, son-in-law. This is unconditional love. Well, please, will you go with him? You see what I mean? So transaction is already late. So today's love, the unconditional love you are talking about, is purely biblical. It's hard. Someone cannot say, I am going to love you for who you are. That statement doesn't even make sense anymore. I am going to love you for who you are. You're what? You're a pastor. So what are we going to eat? We are going to eat scriptures or have faith in, you're going to tell me to have faith. No, you have to put something. What are you doing? Pastor Cyrus, imagine the people we meet on a daily basis. We started with a long time ago. When you meet them today, they are going to ask you, what are you doing with yourself? I am an engineer. Okay, your life is good. I see things are happening for you. Have you met my daughter? I mean, that's like a prerequisite that now you've passed the exam to now connect with my daughter because you have something to give.
Brian.
Yes.
Let me tell you this. Let me start with a question.
Yes.
Do you know the greatest fear in our lives today? Greatest fear of humanity?
Rejection.
People tell you public speaking. Okay. But I'll tell you, the greatest fear of humanity is the fear of reality. The fear of rejection is a byproduct of the fear of reality.
I'd rather not face God.
Thank you.
Yes.
What we are trying to do is I would rather not face God. I would rather use whatever he created to fix myself. Now, from one grandfather passing it on to his son, passing it on, we are simply passing on traditions and culture, and we call it love. Simply, now, even a father not knowing how to raise a daughter believes this daughter is supposed to be a product to bring wealth into my family. That's being materialistic, okay? We don't consider the hearts, and this is the danger. When you're materialistic, there you will not build connection.
I mean, there's no time for that, Pastor Cyrus. There's no time for connection.
I know you're in your red chair. There's no time for connection. That is why the misery never ends. Because marriage is about connection, not things. The connection will bring the things. This is reality.
You have come to this girl. You have told her, you know what? I don't have a job right now, but my heart is large enough. I believe God that soon enough, I believe that he's told me certain things. Something is going to work out.
Yes.
Trust me, Pastor Cyrus, you're going to talk to her back.
Now, let me tell you, if she turns and walks away, that is rejection. You hear me?
Yes.
But because I know what love is, I connected vertically, I will say, thank you, Lord. That's good. We can move forward. You see, I know reality, so I have nothing to fear. Perfect love casts out all fear. The reason she's walking away is because she don't know what love is. She left. She doesn't know what love is. She's turning to material. Okay? She's turning to material. And most women don't know what love is. Most men don't know what love is. It's transactional. Why? Until you face reality, you will never have a sense of belonging. So without a sense of belonging, you enter a relationship to have a sense of belonging. Half, like you said, half meeting half. No, God says one meeting one, whole meeting whole. Making one, not half meeting half. Now, when half meets half, it does not make sense to God at all. You're broken meeting broken, you will have a broken marriage. That is the bottom line. But when you're whole meeting whole, you will have a whole successful marriage. And I may be whole and she may be broken. But because I know what love is, I am in to save her. I am the knight in shining armor. I'm going to teach her what love is, like I have learned from God. And I'm going to push her to also see God so she can connect to God also.
So let me ask you, since we're talking about transaction and unconditional love, so in unconditional love, do we have such thing as expectation? Because I'll give you an example. If I clean this woman up or she cleans me up, she's understood the vertical connection.
Yes.
She's giving, she's giving, she's giving.
Yes.
I'm drinking, I'm drinking, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
I don't want accountability. I don't want to come home on time. I don't want her to ask me where I'm going. But she's giving.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing on her part or on the guy's part that is unconditionally loving this woman? Is there such a thing as expectation? Because I say that carefully because in transaction we have expectation. You give me, I gotta get back. You give me, I gotta give you back. There's that expectation.
That's as long as we keep transacting.
Yes.
Give and take, give and take, give and take, give and take, then the relationship will survive. No, the transaction will survive.
So in unconditional love, is the expectation.
In unconditional love, there is what I call responding.
Okay, explain that.
You see, when you love somebody unconditionally, when love comes, the person receives it and is able to respond. In other words, that love changes them. When God loved me, I received it. You get it? And then it started changing me. I was a person running around, but then this love started changing me. It gave me a sense of belonging. It gave me security. Now I have faith in place of fear. And then it changed my life. Okay, I have purpose. That's what love does. I've had people teach and say, I know it was told to you and it is said that if you God told you to just love your spouse, not to change them. That is bogus. That is not biblical teaching, okay? That is ignorance of love. When you have love, the other party, the beloved, is changed, is transformed because of love.
Irrespective of their stubbornness. Because we have
Now you're bringing in a new word.
Yes.
Stubbornness. You first ask, can we have expectations? It comes as I'm giving this, you're going to respond to it.
if
You're
they're
gonna
stubborn
respond.
and they're not
Now,
responding.
The reason they are stubborn is because they have not received.
So because that's
Let
where
me
that's
tell you
that's what
something about
I like
God.
that, Pastor Cyrus. Let's pause there. I like what you're saying because they have not received.
Yes.
So you've just said that it's my responsibility to change that person. But if the person doesn't want to change, they are stubborn. They don't want to receive.
Let me tell you, love them to a point that they say, you're too good for me. Let me leave you.
Because the person watching is asking, how long will I persist? You remember the question Jesus asked his
Love.
disciples, how long will I bear with you?
Yes. He asked them, for how long will I
Mark chapter 11, yes.
put up with you?
How long will I bear
Yes. Now you see, here is something called marriage and a covenant. Okay?
Yes.
Whereby you're saying whatever it takes, there's no greater love than a man laying down his life for his friend, giving my life for you. Okay? So when I give, love is patient. What is this? I have a final picture of you that has not yet come out. And because I see that final picture, your present picture does not discourage me. I still hold on to the final picture. And then I still am able to fight and declare that God has blessed you. God has changed you.
Are you talking to pastors or you're talking to these people in
I'm
the red
talking
chair?
to the people in the red chair.
Because what you're saying looks true, but is it practical?
It's
Can I
let me use my own life.
Okay.
Because some people may think, well, that's the ideal, but it's
It's an idea.
no.
Okay.
When I met this beautiful girl called Robbie,
Okay.
I met her, we just made 21 years, 14th February.
Yes.
So I met her and we started talking. I just literally told her I'm going to marry you.
Okay.
Straight away. I didn't date her. I told her I'm going to marry
She
you.
didn't ask you what do you have.
What do I have?
Yeah, because today they ask you, I see you walking. Do you have like
Let
a
me
car?
tell the man, when a woman starts with, what do you have? Tell her, I have love. What do you have?
Okay.
I have love. What do you have?
Because love today is explained in things, tangible, material.
Tangible, that is
What do I receive from
perversion.
Okay.
That is perversion.
Please go on.
So I told her, I'm marrying you and all this. I didn't have, but I had God. I had faith. Okay? I said, I'm going to marry you. She said, I'm not ready for marriage. I'm still young. I say, don't worry. I'm not marrying you now. I'm marrying you 3 years from today. That is how organized and calculated my life was because of the vertical connection I had made earlier on. So I was coming in to save. You get it? I had already received the love from God. And then I came in. This was a woman you would sit down and talk to, and she looks at you all the way and checks her wristwatch, and she was too proud.
Okay.
And do you know what I did while we sat down? We'd just grab our hands and say, Father, I thank you because this woman can honor me. She's amazing. She believes in me. She even knows how to talk to me. And I did that for months.
Okay.
That is biblical. Biblical principles. You shall have whatsoever you say. So I said, she knows how to talk to me. When she started talking, she said, hi, Pastor. I said, thank you, Lord, because she don't call me hi, Pastor. Oh, this formalism has come to an end. She knows how to say hi, sweetie, honey, Cyrus, and all this. And I did that for months. Today, she's a blast.
Now-
I gave her love. I was patient because I saw another picture until that picture has come forth.
Pastor Cyrus.
So let me ask you, since you've brought your story in, are there moments in there, in that relationship, in your home setting, where you've had moments where you don't talk to each other? Because this talking to each other, by the explanation you've given me, feels like if transaction is the foundation of this relationship, then there's going to be a disconnect in the home. If someone does something that is irregular, this party is going to break off and say, you know what, you're not good enough for me. If you want me, you're going to have to come and look for me. So we are not going to be talking. Because this happens in so many marriages.
They call it silent treatment.
Silent treatment. So have you had, as you are cleaning, as you are working this relationship
Yes.
up,
Yes.
when was the time that you said, no, there's not going to be transaction here. It's going to be unconditional love. That balance. Was there silent treatment and you realized, no, this is transaction. I need to defeat this.
It has been there.
Okay.
It has been there. And we overcame it then. I remember one time, I don't even know what had happened. You see, when God helps you go through stuff, you even forget.
Yes.
I don't know what had happened. And then she was just throwing a tantrum, going silent. You see, this is another way, it's weakness. So she went silent and started doing a lot of work. You see, at times when some people go silent and they don't want to talk, it's because they don't want to confront, they have a problem with reality, okay? They don't want to deal with the uncomfortable emotions that come with dealing with the reality.
It brings a memory of brokenness.
Thank you. It shows you the unworthiness, how weak you are.
Yes.
You get it? And if you don't have God, you have nowhere to turn.
Yeah.
So you go to silent treatment. And then she would start working hard. Then I saw her at the sink washing the dishes. And I came and I said, I never called you here to wash dishes. I called you to love you, marry you, and be my wife, and we'll be friends. And if there be anything going on, quit the dishes. Get away from here. Let's talk.
Okay.
Let's do the hard talk.
Okay.
I wasn't afraid of anything.
I see a woman looking at her husband right now and saying, I've been washing the dishes. Man, you don't even do, stop me wash the dishes.
You see, at times washing dishes, she was doing it to try to walk away from
pain.
the pain,
Yes.
trying to walk away from the reality,
reality.
trying to walk away. And then you see, in that manner, you begin withholding love. And when you withhold love from someone you're supposed to be with, you're weakening the relationship.
You're transacting now.
Now you're going to transaction.
Yes.
Until they do this. And people who do that want to control their relationship.
That word is too strong.
Yes, they want to control the relationship.
So they throw
They move it away from love. It's got to be a transaction. Until you do A, B, C, this is not going to happen. Man, our time is running out, Brian.
Wow.
They want to control the relationship. Every time something happens, they threaten you. They threaten you. They threaten you. You're there and you're married, and every time something happens, I'm going to leave you. I'm going to walk away. I got a new man. Hey. Then many men look at me. Many women are after me. You even meet a dude saying, many women are after me. You know, you're just being an idiot. The reality is you're trying to control somebody and control the relationship. You're turning to transaction instead of love. You're withholding love. You're weakening the relationship. And after that, you say the devil did it. No, it wasn't the devil. It was your own folly. Brian, in 10 seconds, I want you to speak to that man watching and tell him
Yes.
what unconditional love, the importance of unconditional love.
Unconditional love is genuine. It seeks connection. It seeks healing. It seeks to build. It seeks to restore what God originally planned and set apart for that person.
Yes.
It's not transactional.
Thank you.
It gives because there's love right there.
Hallelujah. It gives because there is love. That's one thing I know about love. And many of you are celebrating. I'm celebrating my 21st anniversary. And I am so glad. I'm so happy. Bliss is flowing. And to my one and only, I will always love you. Yes, and nothing can break that. And by the way, there will never be another. That's a seal. And I know some people are watching and thinking, no, I am here. Nah, there'll never be another. See you next time. Love you. And remember, marriage is easy. Ignorance is hard.
Unlocking Marital Bliss.